folks, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nisi. We are going to get into my first official tier list. I'm excited. I will preface that I haven't done this before, so it might be a little bit janky. Bear with me. I do think over time I will get better. I have more tier lists I want to. But I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit janky since this is the first time I'm doing it, and I've done one trial run with some random stuff, and it's just never the same when you start recording. It's just never the same. So I wanted to start with ENHYPEN. I got to see them live in May in New York or New Jersey, in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area. One of the things I've been doing from a friend that I follow on Threads, K-pop generalist, the K-pop generalist, she had been doing countdowns to her concerts. And so I wanted to try doing countdowns to my concerts too. And I've been doing that. It might have been TXT. I can't remember right now. It might have been ENHYPEN. Anyway, I've been going to a lot of concerts. I have a lot of concerts to go to. I am listening to the entire discography where I can, where time permits, and giving them my rating. My rating, not a critical rating, not a popularity rating, just my rating of how much I love these songs. To be very clear, if something is not my favorite song, it doesn't mean that it might not be the best critically acclaimed song or the most popular song. I just wanted to share my favorite. We're going to break this up. Today we're going to be doing titles. We are going to get started just to run through the 14 tracks we will be going through. We have Given or Taken, Drunk Dazed, we've got Tame Dashed, Blessed Cursed, Always, Future Perfect, Pass the Mic, One in a Billion. So this is an example of like a single. It did end up on like the special Dark Moon, the Blood Altar album, but they released a couple songs as singles, so I'm just treating them as singles. Make the Change. Again, I believe this was a Japanese single. These things end up on repackaged albums, but I am treating them separately. Bite Me, Criminal Love, again, another Dark Moon, the Blood Altar special song. Blossom, Sweet Venom, we're getting close. Fatal Trouble, and EXO, Only If You Say Yes. That is the songs that we're going to get into. Let me just say, if it's an English version of the song, I'm considering it a B-side. It's not going to be in the title. The titles are the titles. The titles are truly the titles, and then I just added in a couple of what I think are fairly promoted singles. I've broken it down into 5 categories. I'm not trying to be negative. That's the last thing I need in my life right now. So this is how I rate on Threads when I do my countdown to the concerts, and this is exactly what I rated when I started in April and finished by the May concert. So the Heart. The Heart is what I consider like my hit list. They are the songs I'm most obsessed with. I love them the most. And I got a little crazy at some of them, so there were multiple hearts. I just think of those as helping me rank them in the end. Stars, Luminous Listens. Those are the ones that I really, really enjoy. They're not my ultimate favorite, but I can say I love them. Groove Approved. These are songs that like I really like, and I'll spend some time listening to it, but I'm not replaying it endlessly like I would maybe a Luminous Listen or a hit list, and I'm certainly not playing it 50 million times like I would on my hit list. We've got Metastic. Metastic are songs that I don't necessarily not like, but I don't necessarily like them. I don't care. They're kind of like the neutral for me. And then, but actually technically I probably still end up listening to it just like listening to soundtracks. I don't skip it. It's just nothing that's going to get me moving out of my seat. And then Sealed Lips. These are the ones that are probably not making it to the playlist. They are also the ones that I probably would skip if they did happen to come up on shuffle. And I don't want to be too negative about them, so that's why I'm calling it the Sealed Lips. So those are the 5 tiers that we're going to be working with, and I've been using this sort of tier for all of the concerts I've been to, so I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, but we'll see. So we are going to get started. We're just going to go in order. Given and Taken. Given and Taken was on the Border Day 1 album. It was released in 2020, November 2020, is what made me a fan of ENHYPEN. So it's not necessarily my first song. I'm fairly certain Bite Me is my first song. But I got into Given and Taken after Bite Me, fell in love with the song, thought I would want to listen to more of the discography, and then I watched Island, and then it was very hard not to love them because of that horror show. So Given and Taken is always going to have like a super special part in my heart because I'm not sure I would have ever made it to an ENHYPEN concert if I hadn't first heard Given and Taken. So we are moving Given and Taken into the hit list for sure. I do have my list. Like I said, I have already done this months ago, so I might be checking them over here just to make sure that I'm rating them the right way. But at the end, I do want to go through and see, did anything change in the couple of months since I first did this rating? I also am a human, and my emotions when I listen to a song on that day might change my opinion of the song. That's just the truth. If I'm in the most foul mood, I'm sorry, a good song might sound a little less great to me. So we will be probably reordering these things. I think I love the most. There's something out early in ENHYPEN that's very funky 80s, late 80s, mid 80s style that I really, really, really love. I think I keyed into that when I first heard this song. The chorus is sick too. And that big man voice. Ugh, okay, chorus is addictive. It's always going to be my favorite part. Okay, here we go. Drunk Dazed off the Border Carnival album released April 2021. It was on their mini album. And this is I think this song is a grower for me. Maybe not initially a shower. I love the titles. I love how the beginning of ENHYPEN's releases, their titles all have these dashes, kind of like always showing two sides of a coin, and I think that's very interesting. Okay, this one might move because honestly, when I hear this live, it has like a whole another like level of it adds a whole nother level of excitement. So I'm putting my Drunk Dazed into a review if it truly belongs in the Luminous listen. I think it still does, but we'll come back to it. All right. Tame Dash is on the Dimension Dilemma album, released October 21st, 2021. So this was their first studio album. Yeah, this is a fun song. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure this goes in the Luminous listens too. It's just I think early 80s ENHYPEN influence is my jam. Yeah, I remember the bridge not being my most favorite part, so I still will put this after Drunk Dazed. Blessed and Cursed. Where's Blessed and Cursed gonna go? All right, Blessed and Cursed was on the Dimension Answer album, released January 2022. So their actual first repackaged album. So Blessed and Cursed, I put in Groove Approved. Now, for some of these, I did actually write comments when I was doing my countdown. So the opening riff is so classic rock and then quickly morphs into this trap rock fusion. It's cool, different. I'm obsessed with the chorus. Overall, the song feels heavy to me. So probably not one I'll always gravitate to, but unique enough that I will still seek it out when I'm in the mood. Here a little bit. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna be on my way, I bet. This song might change, actually. There's certain things, I don't know, experiences that you feel like when you listen to something live, it changes how your brain listens to and interprets the studio version moving forward. I'm trying to think if it ever goes the vice versa way. Like there are songs I know, I've been to concerts of groups I haven't heard before and then listened to their stuff afterwards. So I know I've heard live songs first and then gone back to the studio version. But I don't think it has the same impact, kind of like books and movie and TV remakes. It's kind of like the original is always best in a way. But for some reason, with music, it's the flipped. It's like live is best. Not always my favorite, but on average. I love the song live. It's such a hype song. That's the thing. It's a hype song. When you're in it, in the crowd, I do love that ENHYPEN has bridges, which is probably why I rate them so high. They've got bridges. Even if their songs can be short still. The chorus. Yeah. This one might need to be reordered. I don't know if it belongs in just Groove Approved. I'm pretty sure I love it way more now than I did when I first listened to it. So we'll come back to Blessed Cursed. Always is a single. It will end up on one of their first Japanese albums, I believe, which will have a title song that is a new language version of a song that they've already released. So that's why I'm keeping these separate. Always. I do like this song. I definitely don't think I like it better than Blessed Cursed, but I actually don't remember. So let's hear a little bit of it and see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this song. It's cute. It's cute. Okay, so my comment for this, it is on the singles album Always, but it also ends up on Dimension Senku. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And then it's also on their Japanese full album. This was released February 22nd, 2022. My thoughts when I first listened to it is it's sucrose sweet, which is a soft spot for me, okay? I am a Disney baby through and through. You give me something delightfully ear-pleasing, sucrosey sweet. It feels weird, like I'm saying necrosis. Sucrose. Sucrose sweet. I'm gonna love it. So, in my opinion, I said it was basically cloying. That's how sweet it was. But I love really sweet, joyful, upbeat, youthful songs like this. And I said it awakens the Disney teen musical feelings that I adore. That is still the truth. I just want to hear a little bit more of it now that I remember. All their stuff is always groovy. That groove. Oh, that's so good. I'm pretty sure the pre-chorus is my favorite part. I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like give me that, give me one, give me one. So cute. Okay. That's still staying after Blessed and Cursed. I do agree with that, but I just love sweet, happy songs like that. I'm the type of person who needs that to like survive mentally. My brain is so powerful that it needs to be overpowered by the sweetest, most sucrose songs, sometimes to bring it out of its tumble. Future Perfect Pass the Mic is next. That came off of Manifesto Day 1. That was released in July 2022. Future Perfect Pass the Mic, hands down, gets in the hit list category. What would be interesting is, have I fallen in love so much with Future Perfect Pass the Mic since I found Give and Taken a much longer time ago that I would actually jigger this? I don't know. Future Perfect Pass the Mic was my ENHYPEN first hype song. You know what I mean? Like the first song that I listened to and I was like, oh, our boys are getting a little rough and tumble, kind of tough. And I liked it. So it has a special place in my heart because it showed a different side of ENHYPEN to me for the first time, at least that I had experienced at that time. I really love this song. Let's listen to a little bit of it. Just even the dead opening of the beginning is so hard. I mean, listen to these back to back, please. Barely need music for that. I didn't care. So hard. I don't know, it was also a song that I think I focused more on the raps. There are raps in other songs, but not quite this grimy. But it still has that like funky element in the verses. No, this is definitely the post. This is definitely the pre-chorus, which is also a killing part. It's a killing part. There's so many killing parts in this song. It's very, very, very hard to hate this song. If you hate this song, I don't know who you are. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna call this the chorus. And then I bet the line, I stay still is the post-chorus. Post-chorus is my favorite part. 1 in a Billion as a single, it ends up, like I said, being repackaged in a bigger Dark Moon album later on. We are treating it though separately from that album. So we will be ranking it here. Groove approved. Is it after Always? This is a little bit like a rocky vibe on them, which I felt matched well with their webtoon series. Like it made sense that this had a very, very rocky, dark vibe for the Dark Moon Blood Altar. I think I liked it most because it felt different for me at the time. It's pretty. Yeah, I'm okay keeping it in groove approved for right now. All right, that was 1 in a Billion. Make the Change. Make the Change is another Japanese single that ends up on an actual full Japanese album, but started off as on a singles album. October 2022 was released. This also gets a groove approved. Are there going to be things in Metastic or Sealed Lips for titles? Probably not. I can't see the bottom of my list right now and I don't remember. I do like their Japanese language releases though. They're pretty to me. Their Japanese language songs are very sugary. Happy, Happy Place. I think it stays where it is though. It's not as cute to me as Always. Like Always has like such a cute groove and vibe to it. And this is sugary and fun and upbeat, but just not as cute to me, which means not as sweet to my ears. We'll Make the Change there. Bite Me was released in May 2023 on a mini album. So this is Dark Blood. Dark Blood. We've had a lot of Bloods album titles. We've had a lot of Dark in their album titles. Bite Me is going to be up there. I'm pretty sure I would have put it as a hit list, but let me... I think it stays where it is right now. Bite Me reminds me of my O-Town. For whatever reason, reminds me so much of it. It's a little bit of the... ENHYPEN uses their synthesizers to the best of their abilities. And it's a lot of the reason why I think their songs sound very 80s and funky. This song is definitely on that list with like a given or taken. It has that same sort of vibe that I really enjoy. So let's go to my O-Town song. I said 5 days. Just some catch as all hell heavy synths and layered harmonies. What did I mean? 5 days. Just some catch as all hell catchy, I'm sure I meant. 5 days. Maybe I had been listening to it for 5 days. That doesn't sound right because it was one of the first songs that I heard, so that doesn't make any sense. Just some catchy as all hell heavy synth and layered harmonies. I'm pretty sure I also did this on the first day of the countdown, so have no idea what the 5 days means. But it goes on the hit list, hands down. It is a bop. And it has to be one of their most popular songs that I would imagine has brought in some of the most new fans. Like I said, it was the first song I knew, and we're already 3 years into their discography, right? So this was the song that piqued my interest, and I've been listening to K-pop at least since beginning of 2022. So Criminal Love is still a single. It was released July 2023. Why do I keep going Criminal? Is that a different song? We'll hear in a second. Is it a hit list? I don't think so. I think it is Luminous Listen. Where it falls in here, I right now do not know. So it's going to have to go on the list because I don't think that's the right place, maybe. I gotta listen to Bite Me for a second. Just even the beginning of Bite Me. It sucks you in the minute you hear it. I just had to listen to that for a second. All right, let's get to Criminal Love. Yes. Oh, I remember the song being kind of sultry. Oh, yeah. Okay, it is this song. It just, in my mind, I made it sound something completely different than what it actually is musically. I don't think that my tone was the right tone. Oh yeah, it starts all deep and throaty. Ooh yeah, I like the dissonance in the song too a lot. Yes. Yeah, I think this was also a live turner for me. Whew. I'm sorry, but when did my men grow up like this? The sensuality infused into their vocals and raps, bouncing around the discography. Yeah, at this point, I'm going random listening to the songs. I'm presenting them to you in order. When I listen to them, there's no order. It was just random number generated. I'm bouncing around this discography at this point, and I'm kind of blown away by the maturity and the growth in their vocal ad-libs that I hear in the song. And you get so many of those. I'm not gonna try because it's not gonna sound like that, and then you're gonna be like, they didn't sound like that. Don't say their ad-libs sound like that. Criminal Love stays in Luminous Listen. I do wonder if it's gonna move up. All right, we've got 4 more to go. Okay, we're on to Blossom. Blossom is on a Japanese singles album. This song was released August 1st, 2023, and it's on an album called You. So let us check out Blossom. Blossom, I think I really like as a song. I'm pretty sure I remember it being pretty. And I put it as a Luminous Listen. I do think this was one of the first Japanese songs that I didn't feel like was so sugary pop. So I'm going to be interested to remember to hear the song again. It's more ballady, that's why. Very pretty. Yeah, I like this song a lot. Okay, Blossom. That's going to stay in Luminous Listens. But the question is, it's so soft and sweet. Can it really beat all of our drunk days, Dame Dash? I don't know if it can beat that. We're getting up to our recent finds because I think I reacted to this song on my channel. So I think this was the first ENHYPEN song I reacted to. I think I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I'm pretty sure it has since grown on me before the concert. It's not even a concert turn. I would say it grew on me just from sheer listening to it. It's a short song, so it's easy to, I think, get quickly addicted to it if you didn't really like it off of the jump. I liked it just fine. I just like it more now. So I think I would have Sweet Venom off of Orange Blood, which was released November 2023 on their mini album. I would have initially put this as Groove approved. Like if I had this rating system for my reactions, it would have been Groove approved. But when I did my discography listen, it had already moved up to Luminous Listen, and that's the truth. I love this song. I listened to multiple versions of this song now. I wish it was longer because if it had one sick bridge, I do think that would push it into hit list territory because it is so catchy. To be clear, this could be very different from my reaction because the more I listen to music, the more my opinions change and grow and develop. So please don't hold my first time reaction of something against me. Some people can get really, really mean when you don't like a song. It does not mean that that song is not going to grow on you with listens. Listen to it for one one time for 4 minutes and immediately having to give your thoughts. Anyway, the MJ inspired bop came at a time when lots of Bee Gees released similar songs. I believe so. And I think that is a lot of why it didn't excite me at first when I first reacted to it. My ults included. So at the time, as an example, like Jungkook was releasing a lot of songs that had a very MJ inspired feel. Uh, it flew under the radar for me, but it's grown on me. The English version is one of the best translations I've listened to also. So that I think was also a selling point. If you kind of get me by getting me to listen to the original version and then continuing to listen to the album, I'll still repeat with the English version of the song and not just say, okay, I'm done. I've heard this song before. The English version of the song is extremely, extremely, extremely well done. It makes me feel like the English version of the song was what was written first and it was turned into Korean. And that's what it makes me think, but I obviously don't know. I am not a remix person and I find the number of remixes that we get to be just too much, but I do understand why they do it. It's a marketing tactic and it makes money and a remix is never going to replace it. At least not remixes these days. Back in the days, I used to love the remixes more than the original songs. But these days, it's the original song over the remixes for me. So when I get a remix, especially an English version, that sometimes I'm like, this song was written in Korean clearly, and you try to make it into an English song, and it sounds either one, dumb, or it sounds way more simplistic, basic, generic than the Korean version with its more nuanced lyrics. It's like they have to water it down so much to rhyme and fit with the English language, and sometimes it loses what I think a lot of K-pop songs do have, which is a very beautiful poetry to them. And I think that's just because the language spoken has a beautiful poetry to them. So that's me on remixes. But Sweet Venom definitely is in the Luminous listens, and it's definitely before Blossom. Is it before Criminal Love and the rest of these? I have to think about that. All right, Fatal Trouble. I really love Fatal Trouble. It might um, be one of my favorite newer songs of theirs. It definitely goes in the Luminous listens. It came out after the concert. So anything off of the Dark Moon Memorabilia, which is that album I keep talking about that wraps up One in a Billion and also wraps up Criminal Love. Um, so those two singles ended up on the Dark Moon Memorabilia album, which I am calling a special album, but it almost seems like it's also like a repackaged album. EXO, Only If You Say Yes on Romance Untold also came out after the concert. So I didn't do them as part of my countdown, but clearly I listened to them and therefore I will rate them. So I do think Fatal Trouble gets a star, but I listen to it so much now, it might be close to hit list for me. Or it might just be like closer to the front of Luminous listens. So let me move it up here. I'm fairly certain Days would be after, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll come back. EXO, Only If You Want. This wasn't my favorite ENHYPEN album. I think it's a good album. Um, for me, this album has a lot of songs that I just generally like. But when you look at the amount of titles that like I'm obsessed with or I like really love, when I compare that to my appreciation of the songs on Romance Untold, they're kind of just like I like them. There's something about it that reminds me of a song that I can't remember right now. So I don't know if that song is sampled, the EXO, EXO. I feel like that's from another song, an older song that I remember really liking and dancing to as a young adult, teenager, I don't know. I think it's a sample and it's really messing with my brain that I can't find what that original song is. So if you know, or if it's not, and you absolutely know it's not, and you can just put that to bed for me, it might help me understand and appreciate the song a little bit better because I swear every time I listen to it, I hear what I think is that EXO part is sampled from something. And then I start thinking about where is it from? And then I don't know if I'm fully into the song anyway. So it stays in Groove Approved. That is every title. as you can see, I have nothing in Midtastic and sealed lips. It is what it is. Just a reminder, these are my opinions. No one's going to force me to dislike something, or no one's going to force me to think something is bleh when I kind of enjoy it. So it is what it is. I'm fairly certain, I absolutely know there are songs in sealed lips for me, but they might be songs that you would expect to see. So everything falls into what I would think is I like them, to I'm obsessed with them, and that is appropriate for my ENHYPEN. Let us think about the order of this song. I want to go backwards because I think that's going to be a funner way of figuring out if we've got it right than going forward. EXO. I know EXO is not last because it's a bop. Yeah, it's a bop. It's not going to be there, so I'm moving it up before Make the Change. Now, can Make the Change actually... My sugary sweet stuff is not going to be there. So we're going to move both of these because I already know. I know Always, though, is before Make the Change. Yeah, it just has a groove that I like that I like more than Make the Change. It's this part. It's this part. You can't tell me that you don't want to smile when you hear this part. Oh my gosh. So what do you say? So give me that, get it out. Oh, so good. Okay. Yeah. Always goes before Make. The way this is making me happy, I'm actually putting EXO after Always. Okay, 1 in a billion. Always makes me very happy. 1 in a billion. Okay, we're gonna have to listen to this a little more because I don't remember it as much. I like the instrumentation on this. It's got like a nice pulsing drive to it. 1 in a billion. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Is it weird that 1 in a billion is above EXO for me? I think so. I think it's true. But I still think Always is above 1 in a billion for me. This song makes me so happy. Blessed and Cursed is not going to change. I'm going to listen to it just for a second, but I know it's not going to change. This song grew on me from a live perspective, and that's going to last. I mean, I was so dang loud singing the song. You would think it was my favorite ENHYPEN song at the concert. So this stays. Does Blessed and Cursed move up is about to be the question. So I'm looking right now at this list. I think it's okay. So let's just run it down. Nothing jumps out to me as wanting to change immediately. Blossom is our like ballady song. I think I really love the song, and it's very pretty. And I think I ranked it as high as I ranked it because it, ballady wise, was probably very refreshing for me at the moment. Again, I went randomly and could find ballads among the ENHYPEN discography, but I do believe this ballad felt like a breath of fresh air at the moment, which I think got me a little bit more stoked for it. I actually think I would swap Blossom, put Blossom into Groove Approved, and I would move Blessed and Cursed up. I think that makes sense. I don't need to listen to Sweet Venom again, but because it's in my head forever. Groove. Okay, yeah, it's gonna stay where it is. Criminal Love. I'm gonna jump towards the end. I just love the dark, moody atmosphere of this song. Yeah, this is my jam, so it stays. It stays where it is for now. Let's go back to Tamed Dashed. feel like I'm in Tron with this song. Okay. I like Tame and Dash, but I don't like it more than Criminal Love. And I don't think I like it more than Sweet Venom. So Tame and Dash goes there. I love the instrumentation of Tame and Dash because it reminds me of Tron. I visualize myself on a really cool looking bike from the future. Drunk Dazed stays where it is. So the question is should Fatal Trouble be the first in this list? Should it move up or should it move down? And oh yes. Oh, it's gonna open up and be so pretty. Can't believe this is for their webtoon. I don't know, this gives me like emo in ENHYPEN. I don't feel like I get as much emo in ENHYPEN as I get funky in ENHYPEN. Kinda poppy hard in ENHYPEN, and sweet, cute in ENHYPEN. There's something about this chorus and pre-chorus that's really good. I'm trying to remember if the post-chorus is as good too. Their voices, like, you can hear the maturity in their voices. It's great. The vocalization in the background is so good. I feel the angst. Oh, yeah. Yes, the post-chorus is just as good. Song stays here. I'm fairly certain it doesn't stay here, though. It goes up here. It goes up here. Okay, evening them out. Now, of the top, my hit list. Bite Me feels special because it's special. It's the first song that I heard and clocked as ENHYPEN and said, let me check it out. But I just love Fatal Trouble so much. Like I literally go into a different place in my brain when that song is on. I'm in a movie. This has to be the end. Did I think Future Perfect, Pass the Mic might go above Given and Taken? I did. It's highly possible. I don't think anything else would get above those two. From a replay standpoint too, those Given and Taken and Future Perfect have to be my most replayed songs, hands down. So I do think they ended up in the right place, if you checked my last.fm. And I think Given and Taken is, both of these songs actually are very good at being like an epitome of a theme that ENHYPEN does well, or an example of them doing this specific type of theme well. Future Perfect, Pass the Mic is such a badass, grimy song. And it felt like a shift for ENHYPEN when it first came out. So I feel like that does hold like an epitome place for ENHYPEN in terms of that type of song. Given and Taken, I think, is very much their early vibe. You can hear it in a Bite Me. You can hear it in Drunk Days. It has that synthesizer, electronic, funky, R&B, late 80s elements. And I think that is an epitome for ENHYPEN. I don't know if I'm using the word epitome right, but I think you understand what I mean in terms of it being like something that you would pick out as truly representative of a group. Those two are the two for me. Of our top three, this is what we ended up with. And that would be the official ENHYPEN title ranking per Niecy's love and enjoyment. Her ears, her brain, and her heart. I use myself in the third person, I'm sorry. And the full list, if you include my singles. So that is my first tier list. I think it went relatively smoothly. Is it exciting? But is it what I wanted to do? Yes. Yes, it is. And that is what matters. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out this list. I'm interested to know if you had to rank these 14 songs, or even if you had to take out the 5 and just rank the 9 true title songs, what would your order be in terms of preference? If you want to say like what you think the best is critically acclaimed, feel free to do that list as well. But if you just want to tell me what your favorite is that you just love yourself, and you don't really care what the critics say or the masses say, I would love to hear that list as well. I appreciate you taking the time to check out my first tier list. Like I said, I'm going to be doing part 2, which is going to be my favorite B-sides. So every album, I'm going to pick my favorite B-side. We are going to tier them, and then we are going to rank them. And then in the end, after ranking both my favorite titles and B-sides, I'm going to pull it all together to rank and tier the full discography. So thank you again. I hope you all are having a wonderfully luminous, hit list, groove approved kind of day. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.